their age, some of them 29 years old. You've got basically a mix of the old core, which is Solo, Glow, Perry, and then you've got now like Zeph and HSK in there. HSK is such a young talent and a solid sniper to play that I actually think he brings so much to the team. The only thing that I worry about here is just the amount of time he's been on the team. He's literally just been a couple of months now. And we've got the vetoes coming up here. And now, this is where it's very interesting, right? Because Kings take away Mirage and Overpass. I know what they took away Mirage, because Mirage and Cash, MVP can be pretty strong on. Then we see Cobble Band, Nuke Band. We see that from a lot of the Asian teams. I said about it earlier, they do not want to play Nuke. And then we see Cash Band, which
surprising, yeah.
Yeah, that's what maybe they decide to play on. But Inferno, I was talking about this with you earlier. It's a map where I see some teams are like, yes, we're really comfortable with it, and other teams, they just haven't quite picked it up. For MVP, this is a map I think that's going to suit them.
I feel like Inferno is a good mix between, as you mentioned before, the Cash and the Overpasses, where Overpass is tactical, Cash being more skill-based. I feel like Inferno is a good mix between that, right? You do have teams that play the slow, delicate tier rounds, where they're taking control of the map and they're using map control style of CS to sell fakes, set up their executions, and then you have other teams as well that go very brute force up banana. They go for those angels with the op towards quad, towards arch. And I feel like it's a good balance between these teams. You might see MVP play more of the slow style. Actually, they're going to be starting the T side as well. That's what I wanted to see. Let's take a look. There was going to be Kings defending on that CT side, and of course MVP on the terrorist side. As we're going to round number 1, the pistol. Wow, 2 sets of grenades bought already. That's going to signal to me they're going to be nading top banana. They're expecting Kings to be peak with 3 man there. And from there, try and get that first entry and dent that CT defense as much as possible. Kit, Smoke, bot on Liaz. Again, a surprise. Usually one of the star players for this team. And whether we do go underway with the pistol.
And like you said, we're seeing a bit of a heavier push up here instantly as he's just deciding, nope, I don't want to fight this, I don't want to go for it. And that's the smart decision. He hasn't gone over-aggressive there.
What's strange as well, these HE grenades weren't used in a bundle together. Solo uses his alone. HSK still has his. The problem is you need those grenades together to do 50-50 damage apiece and take down a player. Liaz had no Kevlar peeking towards top banana. They should have got that first kill.
Yeah, that could have been devastating for him to walk into straight away here. But the key thing as well to note is that MVP are playing a little bit of a slower style here, and I don't think Kings would have expected it.
This is what I'm talking about, though. MVP playing the slow, delicate style of CS. They want Kings to peek into their crosshairs, and already aggression towards top middle.
Yeah, he saw Zeph firing away. He's trying to find the opening, but Kings are playing it smart. They're not over-aggressive yet.
Exactly. They're using Zeph there as a decoy to try and sell a fake towards the A side and force rotations away from it. That's actually working right now as the push does come underway towards B.
Yeah, Kings are not ready for this at all. It's going to be up to Hats to hold in defense, and what a shot. Gets in with the first one. He's dancing around as Zeph and Perry are finding a killer piece of Zeph on the lurk, still making the magic happen.
Smokes towards Ruin, smokes towards CT as well as the retake comes underway. Wizard will find one onto Solo into the 3 versus 3. Kid until he has a smoke as well if he wants to go try to fuse in that smoke and use as a shroud as the retake does come underway.
Now this is an even chance here for Kings to push in. They've got to go together and they've got to go confidently. The setup you see coming out from MVP is kind of standard, but Zeph is going to be the dangerous man here. He can keep him at bay for a long time. As long as he stays alive, you see him peeking out there and he's not being taken down. They're trying to edge onto him, but that was beautiful from Imagine. He finds the first one, HSK and Perry. They're trying to put the work in, but Perry is now all alone, 1 versus 1. He's found 3 kills so far, and he gets the last one, and that's a beautiful pistol round. A 4 kill for him, and look at him smile. Look at him laugh. That's the start that the Koreans wanted on home soil.
So Kings going to be losing their CT pistol. Zeph, they're able to sell a good enough fake to force the rotation towards Ruin, leaving Hats alone there towards that backside. Did land the first crucial shot. The problem is he had no backup to aid him. He did eventually go down. And this is the thing. Winning your T pistol in Inferno was crucial. This means, depending on how big the force buy is, and actually you're only going to be seeing Sicko buy the Scout and Wizard buying Kevlar. And actually another issue here is potentially, if Sicko's the AWPer for the side of Kings, and he's already lacking that AWP into the first buy round, could that dent their CT half even more? Anyway, though, it's going to be 3 towards A. 2 towards the B side right now for Kings. This is only going to be 1 player of Kevlar right now for the Australian side, as once again the one-man solo, the 4-1 style of CS coming into play.
Yeah, look at Solo sneaking up here, finds the first, and Zeph's there to back him up with a Galil in hand as the rest of them are going to come onto this B bomb site. What can Liaz do? Deagle in hand, he's tapping away. He's looking for this peak, he gets the first kill. Wizards find him 1 as well. This is a nice defense so far from Kings, and they're not trying to over-invest into it just yet.
3 versus 3. Bomb being planted right now, but there's no cover for the bomb planter. Nice shot there from Sicko. We'll take the head off of one of them. Zeph does go down, 2 versus 2. No kit though for the CT side, and no Kevlar for that scout, which means they need to land these headshots early on.
Yeah, and you see Perry with the AK, he can hold back, he can play from afar, he can do a lot of damage, and Wizards already on really low health, Glow's in a really super good position there, just sat up on side of the coffins, he's got the ump in hand, and he's going to look to put some damage on there, finds the first, but isn't aware the second one's there just yet, does get it in to finish it off, and will pick up the Galil of his fallen teammate.
Kills onto the SMG, exactly what MVP we're looking for. Then again, only 2 players survive, so in terms of economical damage done and dealt, Kings have done some. The issue is now they're going to be a full eco. This is a round for MVP where they can have 4 or 5 stay alive. Had these SMGs, you can see Glow going to be buying up that MAC-10 and use that as the entry power and finesse to get those first kills, stack up the $600 a piece, and build up your T-side economy. For Kings as well, it is going to be the full eco. No Kevlar, just a flashbang there for Liaz, and they're going to be flashing top banana, trying to catch a few players of MVP off guard.
Glow up front, looking to do some damage with the MAC-10, make some money there. Imagine's managed to find one. Glow goes down, only getting one himself there. So this is a good hold from Kings. If they want to push down into this, they can now. Continuing to shoot back down Banana.
Once again as well, 2 players can be taken out from the side of MVP, but then again, there's a welcome mat down on his A side. Bomb's going to be planted for the side of the Koreans on home sale. Soil even. Smoke comes down towards mini pit. And of course, being a eco round for Kings. No kit, no Kevlar. Just trying to get some exits here and whittle down that economy even more.
Nicely done by Solo, just going to tap himself away, looking to find himself a second kill. But he's got to be careful. He's got low health. If they could walk away and save an AK-47, that would be huge for them going into the next round, especially economy side for the CT.
Yeah, save yourself $3,100 means they can actually drop an AWP as well for Sicko if they were to save the Gil potentially. Of course, if you do save yourself $3,100, you can buy full utility, kit, and whatnot. Hatsu would eventually go down. Then again, what we saw on the first force buy from Kings was only 2 players investing, which means to me this is a team that relies a lot on their grenades for the CT side. They know how important it is to have the Molotovs towards Banana, have the smokes and the flashbangs to really use the utility to take control of the map on their CT side. They don't want to give away any free space, you could say, to MVP. Anyway, they're going to be going to the first buy round here, James. Mr. Banks himself. Let's take a look. Round number 4, first buy round, 5 AKs for MVP. HSK going to be, you know, not investing in the AWP just yet, but it will be the AWP for Sicko, but no Kevlar. How is that going to impact his aggression?
Yeah, he's got to be super careful now. Got to give himself a little bit of room to work with. He's staying aggressive at middle, but the flashes come out, push him back completely there, and Zeph's gaining a bit of control. And he's actually forced him all the way back, so he's not even going to be playing from Arch side. He's going to be playing towards the library now, while the rest of MVP can now gain a lot of control in middle and second middle, with Solo just holding down the bottom of Banana.
Smart play from Kings here. They send 3 towards top Banana at the start of the round, take control of Banana, and now you can see that rotation coming in. There's a smoke towards the bottom of B. The problem is, Kings still have 2 players here. Now they can finally rotate that final play, which means 4 players towards the A site. This is one of the issues of when you don't take control of Banana for the T side, is you allow Kings to get this perfect setup where you have 1 player towards Speedway, 1 player towards Library, player towards Apartments, and 1 towards the sign. Here it comes. MVP making the play towards Quad, and the commitment going to be coming at hand as well.
Yeah, Wizard's got to be careful. He's got to be able to get a couple of frags. They walk straight into him. He finds one, but he's instantly taken down. Nice work from MVP. They've got in the site. There's only 2 CTs remaining. The bomb's going to go down. Liaz, Hats, what can they do here with very limited utility? And Glow! Oh, how does he not make that happen? He does the damage, drops him to 5 health, gets spun around, and Liaz holds strong.
2 versus 2 now. Keep for the CT side onto Liaz, but he's only on 5 HP. Headshot angle being played there, but eventually be taken down. It's going to be the 1 versus 1 Solo versus Liaz and Hatsu.
Solo is Solo, but can he make it happen? Finds the first kill. They jump straight on the bomb, but Hats is on top of it, and Kings will claim the first round there on the buy round with all the weapons in their hands. But can Hats get in time to find the AWP? And yes, he does exactly that. The money is held strong for them, but they will suffer on this next round.
Issue here for Kings is only having 1 player alive. If you're MVP right now, your main focus and goal into the first half is to try and reset the economy and shatter any money that Kings can have left. Once this full buy comes in, you can see $400 into the bank of Sicko. And Liaz there buying the UMP as well. The reason is he needs the utility. So it's going to be still there, 3 and 4s, all for Sicko. The problem is there is no money right now into the bank balance for the Australian side. If MVP claim this round, make it 4-1, they will force Kings into a very, very rough position.
Now I'm wondering if Solo's actually going to hold on to his AWP, or if he's going to pass it back to HSK, because he went off the spawn there to get the early push now up, but he might just end up holding on to it, and they've got a bit of utility to work with here. Zeph,
oh, wow, that's a nice angle there from Sicko. Holding in for the balcony jump in, and will eventually tag up Zeph. Wizard, though, towards second mid, will find the first kill onto Perry, and still, it's going to be early advantage in favor of Kings.
Yeah, Kings starting off with a hold strong. They've got themselves the first kill on the board as well. And that's a little bit of pressure taken off them for this round because, like you said, the buy here isn't strong for them. They've had to invest a lot into it. And they've just got to try and build this bank of economy and force MVP onto a situation where they're playing with more pistols.
Solo going for the contact play. Saw the smoke come out and was deployed via Coil. The question is, can he exploit that? He knows where one player is. Second man for the defense there. Hats towards CT as well, easily smokable. Again, Solo pushes in, but Hatsu will find the first, and now we're going to be seeing a two-man advantage for the side of Kings. MVP going for the solo plays. No backup there for Solo.
Yeah, that was literally just a free kill for Kings then because they just nothing happened. Solo went down and that's MVP didn't react. That's not the trade situation you want to have here. HSK, he's just going to get dominated. Kings are just on top of this, all 5 alive, really comfortable round, and MVP, they just didn't get anything done.
Going into this game, I was expecting MVP to be playing that style where they group together, they play the trade game. Instead, though, when you're looking at the spacing between the players, James, they're so far apart, they're not putting themselves in positions where they can't get these trade kills. Solo had a player directly behind him. The problem was they weren't close together. They weren't in a position to trade that kill towards the B site. And what that means is Kings, especially with these orbs, are able to pick off these players one by one, and there's no reaction from the side of the Koreans. It's going to be the double setup right now coming from Kings on the CT side, and we've seen a contact play. Style of CS coming out from MVP, and usually the counter to the contact style of CS is the double up setup. You want these players for MVP to be walking into the scopes of course, Hatsu and Sicko.
And I think this is really bold from Kings to go for the double AWP now. They're looking to create the domination, build that gap, and get themselves many rounds on the board. And this is where it can look really dangerous for MVP.
Only issue at hand I can try and bring up is the sense that it is expensive to run this setup. And we're only 2 rounds won so far for Kings. You usually see the setup when they have 6,000, 7,000 in the bank, where they can afford these rebuys. And whether Hatsu finds one, it is versus the Glocks though, and really want an SMG or a rifle in this position.
He missed off 2 shots there, burnt himself down a bit, but luckily Liaz is there to back him up, picks up 4 kills, only Solo left alive. Kings are looking to hold this strong. Hats comes in to finish it off finally, and that is a perfect B-hold.
Good sign for Kings. You want to be getting your star player into the game, get him these eco kills, get him a feeling for the match, and of course warmed up. That's one of the issues. You see, actually, I was watching an interview with Sean Gares, and when he had Shroud on the team, what he used to do was versus the eco rounds, or in the eco rounds versus the low buys, he'd actually force Shroud to push and get those kills. You want to get your star players warmed up, you want to get your star players confidence early onto the matchup so they can really roll over the first half. Anyway, that will be the third full buy round here from MVP. It's going to be a Glil there for HSK, so we can afford extra utility. But of course, as mentioned before, he's still lacking the AWP to have an impact into this one.
And you said about utility, it's still not a strong amount here. Like, that's going to be whittled away very quickly. So they've got to make it work fast with whatever they're going to try and do here, with most of the players stacked towards A at the moment.
A lack of utility for the Koreans, and double AWP set up for the King's side, which means the longer this round goes on for, the higher chance or the better the odds you will be putting onto the Aussie side. Then again, though, first kill in favor of the Koreans, as Zeph will find the first onto Wizard. One of the star players again taken down for the King's side, and how are they going to react now? A man down.
Yeah, and if you have 5 rifles come into the A site and the AWP goes down, that's leaving 1 rifle to defend. This is going to be a very difficult situation. You can see they're already beginning to rotate people over, but can MVP get this information? They've still got 1 player towards Banana. If they realize it's just there, 1 on his own, it could be a completely different situation, but he does get taken down.
This is what I was talking about, James. The slower this round is played out, the more chances AWPs have to have their impact. And once again, Solo dies with no backup behind him. Shots through the smoke, which means 2 of these players are still low. That is the silver lining right now for Kings. Zeph and Glow on 12 HP.
No, HSK, he saw exactly what was happening, but he will just get domed. Imagine's on top of it. Zeph's going to try come through, but he's so low on health. Sicko easily picking up that kill. This isn't a problem for him. Perry and Glow remain, but they're not going to be able to do anything so far. Perry, no utility, just there on his own. Sprays out 1, but the aim's not even strong enough, and Liaz cleans it up, closes out the round, and now that's 4 Kings in a row.
Disappointing performance so far for MVP. They have flashes in their arsenal, but they're not deploying them. They're walking into the scopes of the AWPs. I believe a pause is being asked for as well from the side of MVP, and a well-timed one at that. They need to think about what's going wrong. They know that Kings are running a double up setup. Very easy and textbook style of CS to counter this is just to do a simple execution. Throw a flashbang towards top middle, smoke top middle as well if you need to. Go towards banana, molotov the top of banana, flash it, take control of it, and all you need to do is smoke off coils, smoke off CT, molly out back boxes, and flash and flood into the site and force back the AWP. Make it so at most he can get one kill while he's cocking his rifle, get in there, trade the kill, and swarm the site and have the afterplant. The AWPs are poor versus executions, and as long as you play the afterplants correctly on the T side, they're also poor in those retakes. So for MVP, what I want to see, James, is executions of the buy round. They cannot afford to play the slow style of CS. They're being countered. It's the exact same as you saw with the Renegades versus Mongols.
And one bit we didn't touch on, I'm going to go over quickly there, is you saw Termi behind MVP. He was part of one of the greatest ever lineups for Korean CS. The knowledge he can bring, hopefully he can give them a bit more insight on how to tackle this now from a different perspective here. Now they are only on pistols. They're again a couple trying up bananas. So he's doing some damage at the top of mid. Drops Imagine down to 14 health, but can't find the frag. But this round, once this goes out the way, he's laughing now. He's like, okay, I know what's going on. Perry tries to see one. He's not going to go and push any further. He's got the bomb. And I love this. Wizard could have just gone aggressive and gone, I'm going to get frags. Instead, he plays the smart game. They're keeping trying to keep 5 alive. Solo's all alone now. Another strong round coming out from Kings.
Yep. It's going to be Solo another 1 versus 5. A likely chance here that Kings do go 5-2-3 up. And that is going to be 5 rounds in a row for the Australian side, as you mentioned before. So, as we go into round number 9, scoreline's going to be 5-3. Are we going to be seeing some momentum now off the back of the Korean side from that pause? What's going to be the change of pace as well? Are we going to be seeing more executions, more flashes being used and utilized to counter the up setup? Or are Kings simply going to be able to continuously run over and overpower the Korean side?
And this is what I want to see. HSK's got the AWP now. The rest of the players for MVP got plenty of utility. What would be their best decision to go? What do you expect to see here?
What I want to see is control a banana and from that execution towards the B site. What they can also do is have HSK try and battle these AWPs. Obviously on land, 1 ping. It is going to be equal in that regard. Question is he feeling confident enough to do that? Leaze going to be boosting up, I believe, one of the AWPs. That's going to be Hats. Peeking out, holding the pixel angle there. HSK holding for that car face, but instead no one's peeking him just yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage coming down, but Hats finds the kill. He walks straight into it, and HSK is going to be kicking himself for that one. He's not able to react. He wasn't even going to look at that position straight away, and now instantly you've given Kings again a 1-man advantage.
MVP. Odds stacked again them for a 6th round in a row. 5 versus 4, and once again the double up setup will come to fruition for the Australian side as they capitalize off of the openings and the gaps that MVP are giving them. I mentioned before, we want to see smokes towards top middle, flashes being deployed, and so far so good. They're starting to shroud off those choke points. Molotovs coming out from the CT side to delay the push here from the Koreans as the clock does dwindle down. They have smokes towards the A site as well. Actually, no, they don't. The only smokers on Hats towards the B site, which means MVP can now take control of top middle, and they can show some presence here towards the A side, try and force a rotation from Kings towards A. And if they can do that, try and have a 3 versus 1 towards B.
The thing is, they've done this before, and I truly believe that Kings are aware of exactly what's going on here. They're ready and waiting for it. And, okay, MVP have had the most success at B, but this isn't going to be enough. Hats is ready and waiting. It makes the first kill nice and easy. Imagine's there straight on top of it to find the lurk, while Leaze is going to clean up. Nice and easy there. Back to by his teammate. And again, 5 alive. Kings' money's going to be insane.
You asked me, James, what I thought MVP should do. I said, smoke off coil, smoke off CT, and then flash the site. They're halfway there. They've done the smokes, but they're lacking these flashes. And you see again, these AWPs have so much room and so much space to cause havoc and dance into the T offense.
Now, the crazy thing is you've got players, 14K, 10K, 12K.
Exactly.
Kings are laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, they can pretty much buy for the rest of the half here. MVP have to win 3 or 4 rounds in a row if they want any chance of trying to dent or reset the money from Kings. Then again, the round number 10 is going to be 6-3, 3-1 advantage for the Australian side, as already these HE grenades are denting the health bars from MVP.
And that's just unlucky because everything was going against them. MVP tried to push up, tried to get a bit of speed going up Banana, and instead they get naded down, dropped to low health, and Kings played it perfectly, shut them down before they could even get close.
5 versus 3 here. Hatsu is low, but that's pretty much the only silver lining that MVP have currently. Sticker, they will spot 1, will be pushed down, but the Molotov comes out.
Yeah, give himself a nice bit of defense there. Imagine backing him up. Zeph has managed to get the reply trade in, but the numbers are stacked against them. 2 versus 4 now. Kings are fully aware of what's going on. And you see the great use of the incendiary grenades every single time from Kings. They're biding themselves so much time, and MVP have to just wait it out because they haven't got the utility to waste.
Once again, only a flashbang to boot for the side of MVP. First kill does come out for Glow. Still going to be the 1 versus 3 as eventually his teammate Zeph will be picked off on his lonesome. Glow now has the bomb, so can try to go for the plant, get himself some extra cash into the bank, and from there they could buy into the next round. The problem is he's still holding for this peak. He's not going for that bomb plant.
Yeah, he knows he's being surrounded from every single angle here. And yeah, Liaz just comes through. They did get the bomb down. It's going to give them some more extra money that they desperately need, but that was solid.
The issue here again is they're going to get $3,400 for their round loss bonus. They have $800 off the plant of the bomb, so that's going to put them to what? 4.2k. And the kills they get as well. But look at this, 4,300, 4,500 to Zeph and Glow. They got those kills. The problem is that's only enough for AK, Smoke Flash. The issue is, James, they need more utility. They're going to go for a timeout once again. They do have 2 more after this one does eventually fade away. But again, they need to work on their executions, their timings. They need extra utility for these plays and their set tactics towards the sites. Smokes are great and all, but the problem is if you're not backing them with flashes, it's pretty much still free reign of terror for the King side towards these sites.
Now, the key thing here is that MVP do not allow themselves to just get down and out of this. Stay confident. We saw the smiles when they had the first few rounds. Let's get that energy going and flowing once again. And I know you guys can't see the chat, but we can. And Wizard, when he said about the tactical timeout that Solo called, he ended up saying, "Oh, thanks, Han Solo." Just a little bit of banter being thrown in there from the Aussies.
Of course, we can confer with that, being British ourselves. Nevertheless, round number 11, it's going to be 5 AKs once again. The ult from HS didn't really have too much of an impact into the round. He did bring it out, so I'm going to be going for the 5 AK setup. And usually the 5 AKs are better in the execution plays. Let's see if they're going to even get to that point of the round, though, James.
And the thing is, HSK has been a bit underwhelming so far in this game. I don't know if maybe it's the pressure or the nerves getting to him, but usually for MVP, he's one of the higher-rated players. This young talent, he just hasn't been able to shine yet, but this could be the chance. Glow coming up fast, but instantly, Wizard, Liaz, they're on top of it. Every single time the trades are coming out in favor of Kings. Solo's battling a losing battle all by himself. He's picked up 2 frags, but he's only got 24 health on a flash, and he's in a situation where he doesn't actually know where they are either.
Has to recover the bomb. What he doesn't know as well as Wizard has exited apps and he's joined forces with his teammate Hatsu. Even if Hatsu missed that easy shot down to Solo, he had the backup of his teammate Wizard towards the cubby. And there you have it, 8-3, 8 on the trot for Kings now. Their CT defense on Inferno. MVP picking up the pistol, but apart from that, James, it's all gone south.
Now, how much do you think the Kings starting on the CT side is factoring into this? Is there still a chance for MVP to battle back here?
Definitely a chance. I mean, one of the issues is for Kings is, yes, you can play this, I don't want to say easy, but the more, the less complicated styles CS. Have these orbs work the map, 1 orb holding towards Banana, 1 orb holding towards Arch, and they're getting so many free kills. We saw Wizard as well, abusing one-way smokes towards apartments. I don't want to say gimmicky kills, James, but if you're playing versus European-style CS, where they will be flashing these angles, trading these kills, Kings are being given so many opportunities by MVP. The issue is when they flips over to their T-half, are we going to see a similar performance from MVP that we're seeing from Kings right now?
Well, this is the question. This is what we're going to wait to see again. MVP. Again, they've bought up, not got too much to work with, and they keep starting with this early pressure towards A. You've got, again, the fake going on and trying to make it happen here, but Hat's gone aggressive at B, gets the first kill, moves back, nice and easy.
So easy as well. Been given to him on a platter, essentially. HSK walking into the crosshair. At what point as well are you going to understand they are AWPing towards Banana? Flash the angles, jump peek the angles if you have to. Do something to try and throw a spanner in the works. Yeah, exactly. Usually what you see from the T sides or the defaults in the Europeans is you're flashing towards top Banana, you're mollying out the corner, you're mollying out sandbags, you give no space, you give no room to these AWPs and these CT players. Instead, Kings are having a whale of a time.
Nice first kill for Sicko. He does get taken down, though, so this is a chance for MVP. They are down one player, but they could wrap themselves round to B. They've got the bomb outside of B, and they're not fully aware of this just yet. It's all down to what Kings can get done here. Hats was all alone, gets taken down. The site is now claimed by MVP. This is the best chance they've had in ages.
No utility, though, for the side of MVP. The bomb would be planted, but it's all going to come down to the Angels. Kits for the CT side, though. The Australians use all the utility they had to try and clear top banana, and a three-man rotation in through pool. Now let's see if they can land these kills.
I love this positioning though. Solo on the site, 2 placed towards Ruins. They can absolutely destroy Kings here and pincer them in location. Kings are taking this very slow. Glow's actually come out right in nick of time. Solo's found himself 2 kills, and this is a good start. Comes in with a triple, makes it happen, and MVP finally, after allowing Kings to get 8 rounds, get another one on the board.
So, took Kings 8 rounds on a road to eventually concede 1, 8-4. Then again, MVP did have 3 players stay alive and the bomb planted, but then again they have to drop 2 players. Those players have to reinvest in utility and Kevlar. They had no money as well built up after winning the round, so only 2 players now for MVP do have cash in the bank, which could be a point for exploitation for Kings if they can win this round, force a weak force buy from MVP, make that 10-4, force an eco. We could be seeing, another force buy for the last round. We could easily be seeing an 11-4 half here, James, if Kings can claim this one.
Yeah, this is what it's going to come down to. You can see again, we're looking at Liaz and Hats. They're doing the boost. They're pushing down Banana. They're gaining that control again. And that gives all the information to their teammates to say, well, actually, they're going to be lurking around probably apartments, second, middle. Watch your backs.
Exactly. So, finally, MVP will be taking control of apartments. But you can see how passive they are. They're so paranoid of Wizard holding towards the back of apartments, abusing or exploiting one-ways. They're terrified of Sicko's AWP again, holding in for the balcony jump in. That Zeph is so paranoid to even peek and take control of it. And that's one of the things that happens when you are playing aggressive Counter-Strike, especially in the earlier rounds as well, James, on your CT half, is you impose almost like a mental block for the T side where they're scared to even peek angles. And that's really going to impact the style of play that MVP want to try and take hold of.
You can see Hats drops the smoke down. He knows that there's some coming towards him now. Already the rotate's coming round. Liaz is on top of it.
Smoke is deployed at 40 seconds. That's going to leave, 25 seconds left on the clock if MVP want to go towards Banana. It looks like that they are with the bomb there. And they have to push through these smokes and try and brute force their way into the site.
Well, they're literally chasing him down, Zeph. They're leading the charge with the Galil in hand, trying to make the kill happen, but he's blinded out. Glow's there backing him up, but Liaz, he hasn't come round in time. He is now backed up by Imagine as well. Kings are starting to come into it, but it was a little bit slow on the uptake there. And HSK, can he do it now? And instantly, Sicko's on top of it. Read it like a book. So smart. But now we've got MVP. 2 players stacked up towards the same position. You've got to be so careful.
Kings on the man advantage for the retake. They will have kits, but they are lacking the utility needed to flush out the MVP players. 3 versus 4. Can they make it happen?
Yeah, this is what it's going to come down to, the first shot. Who's going to go down first? Perry's in a nice spot. If he does get taken down, they might not actually look for the second. Zeph's continuing to bait out the shots. It's going in their favor so far. MVP making it happen, and that's going to be another round on the board. With everything stacked up against them, MVP grinded out that round.
Calm and composure there for the MVP side as they do chain 2 rounds together. Then again, they need to do a lot more than that if they want to break this massive economy that Kings have managed to amount together.
And you can see that double AWP setup where it's been so expensive to him. We saw him on 14k, 12k, 10k. Now it's starting to affect him already.
The thing. If you're buying, which they are, they're buying AWP, kit, and full utility. That's going to be costing you $7,800 or $8,000 pretty much. So even if you have 16k in the bank, you buy that twice, and instantly you've lost all of your money.
Yeah, it's painful here. And Sicko, he just unscoped and moved back to middle. Just about missed the shot there. Could have given himself a one-man advantage early on, as Wizards going to continue to push for apartments. And so far, he's been very successful at this. But MVP are playing a little bit further back. This is right to the wire. Who's going to get the first one up on there? Zeph spraying away. Wizards going to have to fall back. And this time around, he nearly got the kill, but he saw the difference and he was like, okay, it's time to fall back. I've got to play it smart.
If this is a 9-6 half, or God forbid if you're an Australian fan here, an 8-7 half, Kings would be kicking themselves here as they had such a big lead, 8-3, all the momentum in their camp. And we spoke about Kings being a momentum-based team where they win rounds in bundles and they lose round in bundles. After winning 8 in a row, surely they can't be conceding 4 or 5 on the trot. They need to be bouncing back from this and not letting their strong lead slip away.
And once again, we see they've got one guy at solo lurking towards B, doing a bit of damage, while the rest of MVP have actually pushed up quite far here. And again, the incendiary grenades come straight out from Kings, and they buy themselves so much time. They're just acing this every time.
30 seconds left on the clock instead of a Molotov to use on Kings. That's Wizard. Imagine we'll find one kill there with the Molotov, as you mentioned before, onto Zeph. HSK will be out-orbed again by Sicko, and through the smoke as well, he gets a second. This could be the 5 versus 2.
And this was just too slow from MVP. They got all that control. They got forced back by the incendiaries. Perry's managed to find himself one. Can he continue to push in here? Solo's there backing him up. Now, this is not an unwinnable situation here. Liaz has got a wrap around him. Solo's now pincered right in the corner. They know exactly where he's going to be coming from. He jumps up high, and he uses the aim to his advantage. But with 6 health, what can he get done here?
Ooh.
Finds... Oh!
Oh, do you know what?
I thought he got the second.
No.
Wow.
So when he threw the Molotov in my head, I'm thinking, my goodness, this is a bit close for comfort, isn't it? And eventually it will spread him, take him down, so...
That was crazy. When I saw the burn, I was like, oh, he got both of them. I'm like, how is that even possible? And then I realized he got himself. Nice attempt from Solo, but it just wasn't enough in the end.
So, 9-5. Kings one round away from getting to double digits on their first half here. So far, strong performance for them. Their first game on LAN. Obviously, 3 of these players have played that map before, so nothing strange to them. Round number 15, now the final round of the half. MVP, this is a crucial one. Bomb was planted, so that's going to give them essentially a lifeline thrown to them. They will have $800 to invest in some extra utility and potentially some extra firepower as well.
They really need to come out here, all guns blazing. They're pushing up, and they're very confident in their take here on the banana side. Kings are still battling. Hats drop down to 1 health. Glow finds a kill, and Zeph's in there. They've got B. There's only Hats left alive on 1 health. Can he hold strong? MVP need to go fast if they want to take this round. Hats is still doing it with very low health. Beautiful attempt from him, but he's allowed the time to come round for his team to come and back him up.
Smoke down towards CT will allow for the plant, but as I say that, they're going to be going in for the peaks and the kills. Wizard being challenged right now by Solo, the 1 versus 1 duel going in favor of the the Korean. Solo does win that one. Solo onto 2 HP, parent to 50, leaving Sicko down the AWP in the 1 versus 2. Has the kit actually not at hand, but the kit was dropped down towards site, down towards banana, so it is retrievable here.
And I love what Solo's doing. He's gone straight to A. Perry now could be the fawn in King's side because Sicko, he knows he can't make a mistake here. He's even going to get caught from behind.
Oh my goodness, he
Yeah,
does actually come to his senses. The question is, though, where is Solo?
Oh, wow.
Smart.
Solo, will this get checked? Sicko's got an idea. AWP comes out and I thought he was going to go for the knife then. I was like, let's just end it cheekily.
So, 9-6 half, so far so good from the side of both teams, really. I think if you're MVP, especially where the start went as well, 8-3 down, if you told them they're going to be having a 9-6 half, they'd be very chuffed with that. So, strong comeback from the Korean side, obviously winning that pistol. In terms of the buy rounds, only taking 3, James, which means in terms of consistency, you might be leading that more to the side of Kings going into the second half.
Yeah, and that was a successful comeback from MVP towards the end there in the sense that, okay, it didn't look down and out for them. At least now they can look at this and go, okay, we've got a chance.
So the question is right now for Kings, can they carry forward the first half momentum? Take the pistol round. Thing is as well, when it comes down to a 9-6 half, if they win their T-side pistol and they win versus the force buy from MVP and that eco, this could easily be a 12-6 scoreline. And then you're looking at the consistency of the buy rounds as well that we saw from the Koreans. This could be a very swift second map here, James.
Welcome back to the Asia Minor here in Seoul, Korea. And you can see from the first half, the top players for Kings and MVP. And to be honest, despite the scoreline at times, it was an explosive game in terms of fragging ability.
In terms of the players in the screen as well, slightly expected, James. Obviously going into this one, Liaz being the star player for the Kings side, and as unprecedentedly, he is the one top fragging for the side of the Australians, and Solo obviously leading the charge from the helm, being the cooler, being that experienced 1.6 legend. He's the one performing on LAN as expected.
And this guy, he has only played CSGO for MVP throughout his entire career. He's been playing for many years. They took a short break, obviously, for the military service side of things. Yes. But he comes back and he can still be top in the scoreboards, rolling through for his team at 29 years old and be one of the most skilled players. This guy, if you go back and watch some of his 1.6 demos, he had the most insane control and aim of probably any players. Yeah, it was a beyond belief how good it was.
That's the thing as well. I think you brought up a really good point, which is the fact that the younger star players, which you usually see online, are the ones that are currently struggling around this game. And obviously the old school players are the ones
HSK has 1 kill.
Are you joking?
No,
oh my
1 kill.
goodness,
This is what I was saying.
1 to
I said he
15.
was having a bad game. 1 kill.
This is the issue sometimes what happens when you have these younger, inexperienced players. The pressure does get to them. I've been there, especially.
Now, this is a huge deal for him because you're with 4 players who have got plenty of experience under the belt. That they're all used to it. And the main thing here is that HSK, this is a big deal to him. And he's going to be... The pressure now when you've got 1 frag, you're like, wow, what do I do from here?
Push towards Banana. Zeph can be holding the line. Let's see if he can land these headshots and deny the aggression here from the Aussies.
Yeah, Zeph and Solo, they're going to be your B players already. A fast rotation coming in. They are fully committing to this at this stage. I like the confidence coming out from MVP as Zeph comes up with a nice first kill. Headshots are raining in. But imagine Kings, they're pushing in. They're getting onto that bomb site. They're going to look to get that bomb down straight away. As MVP have got to be careful. Solo's gone down and they're losing full control here. Glow is finally coming in, but he can't even manage to get the kills on the board. Perry, HSK, they're finally putting frags up on the board, but it's all up to HSK. He's got a really tough job ahead of him here, and that's going to be it. Imagine's on top of it. And how on earth did MVP... They just stacked up in ruins and let it all fall apart.
For a second there, when I saw that Molotov being deployed towards Banana, I thought the round was over. You have 6 seconds to allow yourself to bring in the reinforcements, come in through CT, get there and anchor down on the site. The problem is the Angels went in favour of the Australian side and they will claim that second pistol. So, James, in terms of the pistols, it will go 1-1, but you look at the scoreline as well. MVP only claiming 3 gun rounds after winning that T-pistol, and right now it's definitely coming back to haunt them as Kings. If they can pick up this round versus the, I'd say quasi-buy here, force buy from MVP, they could be looking at a 12-6 advantage already.
And look at that instant change there. You saw Kings now. They pushed up Banana. They've got the guns, but the molly went up, the nade went over. It's stuff we were not seeing from MVP on their T side.
Exactly. It's so pivotal to have early control of Banana to force back the CT side into the site. And when you do that, you block off any information for the CTs, which means selling fakes is a lot easier. And of course, when you force them back towards CT, towards ruins, that execution becomes so much more impactful.
You can see Wizard there with the Mag-10. He's looking to make some money, build that bank early on. They've got 2 AKs in play as well. Kings all the way up the top of mid now. They're covered by the smokes. They've got the confidence, and they're just trying to flush MVP out here.
Still though, 5 versus 5 minutes left to play. Smoke still onto Perry. Question is where will he deploy that? And he actually did use it towards quads that will delay the push here eventually. Actually a poor smoke there, which doesn't quite connect and block off all of the vision, but here comes execution from Kings.
Now Glow using that smoke to his advantage, but Wizard knows exactly where he is. Imagine's picked up 2 kills, but one of them is onto his teammate there. They're still picking this up very nicely. Only Solo remains. We'll find 1 frag, but it's going to be very hard to get anything else done, and Kings do close out the buy round there. They've got to be careful, though, because only 2 left alive, and they obviously brought up the 2 AKs as well. They did manage to save them, but it's a bit touch and go. You can't afford to lose an AK that early.
Then again, they were playing versus the force buy from MVP. Of course, if that was a full eco and they've lost 3 players, then I would be agreeing with you there. You know, that's too much lost. Nevertheless, though, as I said before in the last half of MVP, this is the round where Kings have to have 4 or 5 stay alive, stack up your cash to be able to afford the utility going into the buy rounds, have 4 or 5 stay alive, avoid yourself having to drop, try and get the early kills in the SMGs, stack up the $600 a piece, and get yourself a heavy economy to float.
Well, Liaz, he's just there with the Mac-10, picks himself up 2 frag. Hats has found 1 as well. They're looking to make all that money. Very quick round. MVP pushed down, but it's just all against them.
Question at hand now for Kings. Do you carry forward these Mac-10s into play? Obviously, MVP went for a 4-man force buy, which means if you're looking at the head armor, already Solo hasn't got any HSKs lacking it as well. We could be seeing 5 players with a head armor, and suddenly these Mac-10s have such a crucial role to play. You can obviously jump around corners, shoot in midair, and still there is accuracy within those submachine guns. So, for the side of MVP, only 2 players of head armor. And for Kings, 2 players going to be wielding those Mag-10s. How are they going to be utilising them? Are we going to be seeing an apps burst where they try and jump into the side and utilise the movement mechanics of those SMGs firing while running? Or are they simply going to be met with full force from those rifles?
Yeah, look at Hats already straight up Banana, sitting behind the incendiary grenade that was thrown down. They've got control, and so far, every time when Kings have come up towards B, MVP have just allowed them to have all this control. The smokes are going over. Now MVP are trying to use out some of their utility to bounce back here. But Kings, all the control, 4 players on Banana. They've got 1 lurking towards second middle at the moment, and it's just comfortable for them.
What Kings have done, James, is what They're trying to force out the utility for MVP. They want to force out Molotovs and they want to force out flashbangs. They still have smokes to go for a re-execute if they want to.
Well, that was a nice bit of damage done, actually. Sicko was boosted up. He ate the damage down to 12 health now. Didn't actually manage to find the frag either. And you've got the Mac-10s here. Maybe just try and use one of them to feel out exactly where the MVP players are, so then you can push in.
Exactly. In an ideal scenario here, James, you want to have the Mac-10s going first and have them trade, especially now that Sicko's low HP as well. Use him as essentially a decoy to find out where exactly these players are situated on the B side. Here come the flashes and the re-execution I was hoping for.
Yeah, the rush is coming in. Solo's going to use that smoke to his advantage. He's avoiding all the bullets at the moment. He's in a really good spot. Imagine walk straight past him. Another player is actually walking into him, but he did nothing from that position. How is that possible? Zeph's there managing to pick up 2, but he is going to get taken down. The players on MVP are just lost in the smoke. They're confused at this point. And Kings, did you get the bomb down? And they're comfortably there, still picking up kills, evenly as using the Mac-10.
MVP melting towards the B bomb signs. It will go into the retake here. No kits, no utility. You may as well just save what you have left right now. It's going to be 3 versus 2. Sicko's low. That could be the lifeline that MVP need.
I just expected so much better from Solo in that position. We see now Glow working his way through ruins. He's looking to check every single angle, but they're not going to go for it. The timer is already ticking. Neither of them have kits. They just need to hold on to what they've got, but is that even going to be an option as Hats is going hunting? He picks up one, does get traded out instantly, but now they know exactly where Glow is. They're ready, waiting for him. Oh, this is beautiful. He's managing to do the damage. Liaz is actually going to lose that AWP, and Glow saves himself a weapon, will grab himself an AK-47. Not the best situation for MVP, but that's a good way to end a very tiresome round.
For Kings, though, once they're at 13 rounds already, in the first half, I'm talking about economy and how important it is to whittle down whatever money the CTs have. The issue here is, James, for Kings, it doesn't matter how many stay alive, if it's 0, if it's 5, it's all about the rounds. They only need 3 more to close it out. They're so close to the finish line. They will have enough for another goodbye. It's going to be 2,000-ish across the side of the bank balance for Kings. If they lose this round, they can still buy up into the next one. MVP have to chain rounds together, but they're going to be going for an eco here. They're going to be forfeiting potentially that 14th round for Kings. And at that point, you are going to be saying, this could be as good as done.
Yeah, Kings in a really good spot. MVP, they've just been pretty lackluster here on Inferno, a map that we normally see a lot of confidence come out from them. But this could be something they might be able to work with here, especially with Glow picking up that kill onto Imagine. Sicko's missed one as he's blinded down from Banana, and he's got to be careful he doesn't get pushed out here. He's got his P250 out. He is a little bit nervous of what's going on, and now we have 2 AKs up on MVP. Solo gets it dropped to him with Zeph being on low health. This is a smart decision, and you've still got 5 alive.
1 minute 10 on the clock, so Kings can still try and find entries across the board. Smoke comes out from Wizard, but the problem is it doesn't smoke out the whole balcony, so a failed smoke there will telegraph to MVP that they know that one's there. 2-man advantage for the Korean side. How are they going to utilize that? Instead of playing 2 towards B and 4 towards A, they're actually going to be taking Solo alone towards Banana. And as I said, the Caster's Curse, of course, Zeph will be rotating back around towards the B side, but how much impact can he really have without Kevlar, without full HP, and just wielding that CZ? Anyway, though, it's going to be 30 seconds left, and King's going to be opting to commit towards the A side, it seems.
Yeah, and they've got a couple of smokes as well as the flashes to play with here, and they know MVP are mainly up on the pistols. Liaz missing the first bit of shots there. He's got to be careful as Perry continues to poke out. He's just getting the information there. Going to fall back into the site, and MVP could look to hold this strong from multiple different angles there. Kings are getting absolutely destroyed as they come into this site. Only Wizard remains, and he is managing to pick up the kills, but he's still got 3 more to find here. Solo's got the AK still. The other 2 players up on the CZs. Wizard doesn't know where to turn, and he's going to have to go for the plant. They're going to come round to push him, and Solo picks up the final kill, and that is how it's done on the forced eco round.
You saw the panic there from Wizard trying to force the peak from MVP. He wanted to die in that scenario. He didn't want the timer to run out and eventually die after time and get no round loss bonus, but eventually he will get the 1.4k into his bank balance, so all is good. And there will be a pause coming out from the side of Kings as they're going to be trying to work out what their final gambit is, their final plan of action, and the strategy they want to go and fall back onto to try and get that 16th round.
And the first pause there as well for Kings. That's the key thing, is this is the first one they've had to use. MVP are the guys who've had to pull it out early on. Now, they're not on the back foot. They've still got the lead, but Kings want to close this out before it gets risky.
Yeah, and what that shows us as well, the fact that this is already the first pause for Kings means so far they haven't really been tested.
Yeah. They're feeling that confidence. They
Exactly.
feel like they're in control of this game. But it's the key thing that we see with a lot of teams is they get to this 13th, 14th round and they actually start to struggle a little bit to close it out. So this is what they've got to ensure they do correctly now.
13-7. It's still going to be a strong lead for the side of Kings. 7-round advantage. Sorry, 6-round advantage. My goodness, my maths. British maths. British IQ, of course. CZ for Imagine. 4 AKs as well to finish off the rest of the buy for the Australian side. And for the Koreans, it's going to be the AWP onto HSK. And now we're finally going to be seeing the AWP into play. How is he going to be wielding that on the CT defense? Is he going to be aggressive, try and find those first kills like we saw from the Australians on their defense? Or is he going to play more passive and try and have his impact in the mid portion of the round?
And you can see now for Kings, they've gone for the buy. We've got 1 CZ in play. AWP up on HSK now. He's started to pick up a few more kills now. He's on the CT side, but this is where we really want to see him pop off, bring up the key kills that's going to help MVP claw their way back into this.
Magic right now lining up the pop flash for middle. Completely pop flashes quad. And I believe this is the... Sorry?
Look at Banana for MVP. They've got the information, so they're pretty aware of what's going on here. HSK's only found 1 kill. Hats is coming round to fire back. Solo's there as well. So it's good kills coming out from MVP. Hats is looking everywhere. He's like, where are they? I can't find them at this stage. But Glow, how did he not get that kill?
3 versus 3. Hats and Sicko are lows. There's still a chance here for MVP to try claim this retake as the bomb goes down and the timer does slowly but surely tick away. Kits though for Zeph, which means he's the one that has to have the big impact here to defuse this bomb before it's too late.
And actually, the position here from MVP is going to work really well. They're coming from all angles now, and they've just got to be able to find the players. As Solo finds one, HSK's managing to put the work in as well. Solo jumps in, cleans it out, but Zeph picks up the kill. The defuse comes in. Weapons are being saved here, and 3 alive for MVP as they claim their 8th round.
2 on the trot now for the Korean side as they do make it 8-13. Smiles now coming out from the camp of MVP. Question is, how much longer will they be grinning for? Is Kings going to find themselves back into this one, or are they going to be letting their lead slip away like we saw in the first half? Regardless, though, 13-8, so far so good. And in the second half as well, first Byron going in favour of Kings. We saw a miracle round there from MVP where they claimed it with only 1 set of Kevlar from Glow, and apart from that, CZ's across the board, and they still managed to claim that round. That was what, their 7th, I believe? And now they're on their 8th. Regardless though, round number 22, it's going to be the Eco coming out from the Australian side, and this is the round where MVP have to stack up cash. They need to be able to afford rounds, even if they lose them.
Well, Hats, all the way from the bottom of Banana, takes the 1 dig up on Solo, and now you'll see Zeph, he's not going to allow him to have that weapon, he's pushing it back a little bit. Now it is an instant trade out, but you got to know that Kings, that is the way you want to start it. Push them back and say, look, we're still fighting, and you've got to be scared of our pistols.
Very hard on the line towards Quad. We'll find one, but eventually traded up by Leaz. Glow with the elevated angle towards Quad. Still has the drop on Leaz if he wanted to go for the peak, but the bomb would eventually join the remainder of the Kings side towards this A side. Actually going to be approaching in through apartments as well. Only issue here right now for Kings is they're all split up. Oh, if Sika goes and lurks towards Library, could have such a good drop here and really open up the round here for Kings.
Now this all on if Zeph decides to turn around. This is going to be dangerous, and he does it in the nick of time. Oh, you know Sicko's going to be kicking himself over that one. The advantage is now with MVP. Can they hold strong? Glow's in a really solid position, finds the first kill, closes it out, does it in style, and that's 9 now for MVP. They are not down and out of it just yet.
Denying the bomb plant for Kings means a reduction of $800 for Kings. Obviously, if they have the extra $800, you'd see Sicko will be able to afford an AWP. They might be able to run a more cohesive T round, obviously, in practice. And when you go over strats and whatnot, you always practice with the AWP in your hand. Sometimes when you go for the 5-rifle setup, it can be a strange thing. Here we see MVP mirroring the same setup, the same CT defense that was so strong for Kings. Double up setup. How are we going to see Kings react to this?
Oh, and Solo, he sits in the flames. He's got the confidence. He thinks he can make a shot, but no one from Kings was actually there ready and waiting for him. He has to be able to get the first kill coming up, and that's exactly what happens. Hats goes down, 1-man advantage instantly for MVP. And at this stage, they're not fully aware if HSK still got his AWP or if it's been passed over to Solo or how it's exactly played out, so they could just run straight into it.
One of the things we saw in the last buy round from MVP was they have control of Banana, but they didn't rotate the second man. This time we're seeing the anchor, that Solo, he's alone towards the B side. This is exactly what I want to see. 4 players towards the A side for MVP. And finally, we're starting to see some very, very strong tactical play from the CT defense from the Koreans.
And this is what we see from a lot of Asian teams. Their CT side is where they're comfortable. The T side is where they start to struggle a bit. So now, this is their time to shine. As Kings, they've made their way up middle. They're mollying out to see if they can push out any CTs from positions. But MVP, they're playing it super safe. The only thing that's got to be careful on is when they come around Arch side, they've only got one player towards Library. So if he goes down, that gives them a good chance to wrap all the way around to B. So they've got to keep an eye on exactly the movements of the Kings players.
Played towards quad now from the Australians, so they're trying to commit towards the A site. Molotovs will rain through. The flashes to boot as well. They find the first, and Zeph goes down. Can they secure the side?
Oh! That was a beautiful shot from Imagine. HSK and Glow are putting in the work, but is it going to be enough? 2 versus 2 now, as Kings will come onto this A site. The bomb will be planted, and you've got a double AWPs to try and fight back on this.
A quick drive by there from Sika will allow the bomb to go down, and the site is secured, and the drop from Liaz onto Solo, leaving HSK now, the young gun, in the 1 versus 2. Oh, and eventually will be taken down on a crazy round from Sicko as he finds 2 crisp kills. 14-9 now. Kings only 2 away from finding that magical 16th and claiming themselves their first best-of-1 win here.
Now, we could have seen a completely different situation if
Exactly.
Imagine didn't pull off that shot.
I mean, if he doesn't land that kill and it goes vice versa and the odds are flipped, that would have been a 3 versus 1. Instead, it's a 2 versus 2, and they win that retake.
That was insane. That was such a big impact kill there. You've put the 14th round on the board for Kings, just 2 rounds away now, and you've halted back MVP. On the first round, we saw them go for the double AWP setup. That was a costly mistake.
Round number 24, Kings finally getting around the board after conceding 3. MVP would eventually buy up again, but the problem is, we spoke about it last half for Kings, and the same is the same story for MVP, where you go for the double setup and it costs so much, and you can see how it impacts your economy. Solo there trying to be the impactful player. It feels like he's forced almost to go for the first kill because no one else on the MVP side is going to take the mantle of the aggression, for aggression.
Well, this is the thing, when HSK isn't stepping up, you need someone
Exactly.
else to take the reign. Zeph, he's playing okay, but he's not having an amazing game. It is a lot of the pressure on Solo to really step up here and push back in every way he can. But in that trade, he pushed out to Banana, he gets hunted down straight away. Nice and easy for Kings. There wasn't any need for him to overextend at this stage.
Man advantage for Kings off the back of the AWP play from Sicko. The star player essentially from MVP is down. Who else is going to step up and fill the massive void that MVP have now in their defense? And can Kings close out this round and get to the aforementioned 15th and get to match point? 40 seconds left on the clock. Towards the B site, there's no one there as MVP take a big risk and a big gamble to try and send all of their available resources towards A.
And Zeph now, he looks to be even playing it from CT or just deciding we're not going to go for it, we think it's going to be A. But he's got to be careful because B is still completely empty. And with an AWP, he could at least do some damage and hold him back here. Because Kings are just walking on. The smokes go down, the site's covered, Zeph's running in. But now he's on the back foot. They're already here.
AWP, no Kevlar for this scenario is the worst case for Zeph. MVP, desperate times, James, call for desperate measures. And leaving the B bomb site completely up for grabs for the T side is one of those desperate plays as they forfeit all control towards B and they put all their eggs in one basket towards the A side and it doesn't pay off.
Yeah, they should have kept Zeph there. They're now in a really difficult situation. This retake is going to be nearly impossible. As Sicko, he's managing to put the kills on the board. Imagine and Hatch, they're coming up with it across. Sicko will end it out, and that's the 15th round. We're on match point. Kings, they're looking to close this out right here, right now.
1 round away from finishing the job. For MVP, they do have 6 more rounds in a row, which they will have to chain together if they want a chance of forcing OT.
And their economy destroyed.
Exactly.
Absolutely wrecked.
Exactly. So, going to be the force bar, of course, is potentially the final round here for the Korean side of the first matchup they have here today in Seoul on home soil. They have put up a good fight, though. 9 rounds is obviously better than we could have potentially expected. That again, going into this, when you're looking at the potential favorites, right, TyLoo and Renegades, of course, Kings and MVP and Flash Gaming, they're the ones poised and the forerunners of the dark horse to try and upset those teams. But so far, Kings off to a strong start, and this means as well, James, the match you were hoping to see, Renegades versus Kings, if they can close this one out quickly.
Yeah, exactly. If Kings take this, the next game is going to be ridiculous. It's going to be the Aussies battling against each other. Renegades, the tried and tested one, as Solo. He's pushing down and finds 1 kill. That was nicely done. He is backed up, but they can't grab the gun, so that's not going to give them the advantage they want just yet in terms of weaponry. But this is giving them an opening. And actually, there's still a fair few Kings players, and Solo wants to go for it again, but they're ready and waiting for him. They had an idea that he might try to do it, and this is where his overconfidence comes into play.
Yeah, you can see Solo is forced to be that player, the playmaker for the squad
Yep.
of MVP. The problem is you want, you know, your HSKs, the young gunners, to be those players that push in with the incredible aim to try and find those first kills, find those openings and those gaps and those loopholes. Issue right now for MVP is they need other players to step up, maybe into the losers best of 3 later on today. If they do eventually lose this round, James, we might see more players take that mantle. The problem is right now they need more players to step up.
Yeah, Liaz just putting in the work, getting the openings here. MVP, they're in a very difficult situation.
A sites open.
Yeah, no one's in A again. The gambles that MVP are taking are just all working off in the wrong favor for him. It's just not happening as Glow will try to get one, but he's instantly taken down. Only HSK and Zeph remain. The A bomb site swarm, the bomb's going to go down, and this is looking super comfortable for Kings once again.
Yeah, 4 versus 2. All down to Zeph now, the 1 versus 3. Of course, all these players are low. Does find 2. And then the 1 versus 2 tries to line them up. The problem is that the spread doesn't quite connect. Still going to be the man deficit for himself. Chucks out the molly towards Pit. That will isolate the player. They go for the reface.
Wow.
Finds it actually. The Molotov. He maybe even find Liaz. As he's on 5 HP. Whips out the CZ as he's pushing towards the side. The headshot angle in use. Eventually, Liaz will secure the deal. 16-9. And eventually, the Australians do take the first game.
That was a crazy last effort from Zeph. He gave it everything he had, but Kings, they go through 16-9. Now it started to look a little bit shaky for him once MVP hit the CT side, but overall, Kings played the smart.